Hello students. The next concept, properties of definite integrals. So what is the use of this definite integrals? See, already we learned how to evaluate integrals. See, if I evaluated integral of f of x dx, I get a curve capital F of x plus a constant c. So I get a curve. So now if I evaluate the value of this integral in between some limits, means integral 1 to 3 f of x dx, so I get area. So what is the area bounded by the particular curve and x-axis, the particular curve and x-axis. So in such cases, so we can find the curves which are intersecting x-axis. So whenever intersecting x-axis, its properties changes. So we may get the area here sometimes positive and sometimes negative. Sometimes we may get the curve like this, sine waves. So to avoid these all difficulties, just I have given a few curves. There are many types. What we cannot draw here. So based on the curves, we can draw the graphs, right? So we have many curves, and few curves they have a discontinuity at particular instance, right? Simple discontinuity, because suppose if I consider x minus 2 by x plus 2, the curve is okay in all the cases except x equal to minus 2. So at x equal to minus 2, the curve is not defined. So these type of discontinuities are called simple discontinuities. So if the simple discontinuities occurs, we can find, even though we can find the areas which is bounded by that particular curves. Okay. So now we start the properties. How the properties are important? So the properties plays major role to find its area bounded by the curve with respect to x-axis. So when it has a simple discontinuities, as well as if the curve behaves in different ways. Sometimes it may lie entirely in first coordinate, otherwise entirely above the x-axis. So that cases we can directly evaluate, no issues. But whenever it comes to the changeovers, so sometimes it may become positive, sometimes it may become negative, and sometimes it increases rapidly, decreases rapidly. So during that cases, so to evaluate that type of functions and their area bounded with respect to the curve as well as x-axis, so we use the properties. The properties gives a simple idea and a simple illustration, simple explanation about those type of curves, as well as how to find their area bounded by the x-axis, right? So we start. What are the properties we have? So if I consider integral f of x dx, which are defined in between a b, so it can be rewritten as integral a to b f of t dt. So in this case, see, if I replace x by t, there will be no change. So this case we call the variable as dummy variable. So why we call dummy variable? We can put any variable. So if you put any variable, the value never changes. It depends on only the limits. The value of a to b f of x dx is nothing but equal to phi of b minus phi of a. The same phi of b minus phi of a. So no change. It does not depends on the variable. But if suppose the function is given as integral sin x dx, if I change it as integral t dt, it doesn't make sense. Why? Here the variable is x, so you can change x by some other variable t, p, q, or s. But so I have here sin x, I replace it sin x by t. If I replace sin x by t, there will be change. So this doesn't make any sense. It's a wrong assumption. So if you want to change the variable, you have to change only the variable, not the function. So if you change the variable, then it doesn't affix. So this is the first property. And the second one, integral a to b f of x dx. Integral a to b f of x dx can be written as minus of integral b to a f of x dx. So if I simplify this one, the simplified answer is a phi of x. Say some function we get phi of b minus phi of a. So now if I consider minus out, I get phi of a minus phi of b. Phi of a minus phi of b, which gives integral a to b, integral b to a, some f of x dx. So integral a to b f of x dx can be written as minus of integral b to a f of x dx. Means if I change the limits, upper limit as a lower limit and lower limit of upper limit, the value of integration changes. The value changes by its sign. If it is positive, we get minus, negative. If it is negative, we get positive. After this, the next one, third property. See, in between a and b, say suppose the function is defined, the integral is defined in between a b, and we have some points between a and b. The curve changes at one particular point. Then we can split the entire integral into 2 or 3 parts. So how? If I consider a point C which lies in between AB, I have to consider the point which lies in between AB only. So we cannot consider left side of A or right side of B. So now integral a to b f of x dx can be written as integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx. Suppose if I have a curve like this, starting point and this will be ending point. So I consider a point C at this, in between AB. Then I can write the integral as integral a to c f of x dx plus c to b f of x dx. So if we go to the proof, so this can be written as integral a to c f of x dx. Say its answer as phi of x. Integral of f of x dx as phi of x. So here also we have integral phi f of x dx only. Both can be replaced as we get the answer as phi of x. Now after applying the limits, what I get? I get here phi of c minus phi of a. Phi of c minus phi of a plus, so what I get in this case? Phi of b minus phi of c. So phi of c and phi of c gets cancelled. I get phi of b minus phi of a, which is nothing but equal to integral a to b f of x dx. So not only one point, we can consider many points. If I consider the point c1, c2, c3, c4, c5, so then I can write the given integral as integral a to c1 f of x dx plus integral c1 to c2 f of x dx plus integral c2 to c3 f of x dx plus and so on, plus integral cn to b f of x dx. So I can consider n parts which are lying in between a and b. I can split my given integral into those many parts. Okay. After this, the next property, integral a to b f of x dx, a to b f of x dx, the same can be written as integral a to b f of x dx can be written as integral a to b f of a plus d minus x dx. Integral a to b f of x dx can be written as integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. Property number 5. What is this? Property number 5. 5 or 4. Property number 4. So to prove this one, I consider this a plus b minus x, a plus b minus x as a constant t. See if I differentiate both sides, then what we get? So I get minus dx as dt. So now what are the limits of t? So as x limits a to b, t limits of t or varies from. Substitute the value of x as a minus a gets cancelled, so t varies from. T becomes b where x becomes a. So if x becomes b, if I consider x value as b, the value of t will be equal to, so you write first x and next t. The value of t will be equal to, so what, substitute b cancel, the value of t will be equal to a. So now I have taken RHS now, so that can be rewritten as integral a to b f of a plus b minus x I consider as t, so I get f of t dt, and I have taken a wrong assumption. What is the wrong assumption? So while considering the limits, I'm converting everything in the form of t. So I replaced in place of a plus b minus x t. Then the limits also have to change. Actually the limits are from a to b. So if value of x is equal to a, then value of t is equal to b. So the limits are changes from b to a. And f of x, I got minus dx as dt. Then dx can be replaced by minus dt. So now I get minus of integral b to a f of t dt. As we learned the first property, if you change the variable, the value of integral never changes. Then so we get this one as integral b to a f of x dx. And from the second property, what is the second property? Minus integral b to a f of x dx can be written as integral a to b f of x dx. As per the second property, if you change the limits, upper limit as a lower limit and lower limit of upper limit, the value of integration changes by minus. Right? Already I have minus into minus, it becomes plus. I get the answer integral a to b f of x dx. So this is the fourth property. After this, the property number 5. So in place of a to b, I consider 0 to a threshold. The next property. In place of a to b, I consider 0 to a. So when these are useful. So if you are able to express f of x, suppose if you are able to express integral a to b f of x dx, this we need to simplify. In that cases, by using this particular formula, we can express f of x dx as some constant plus or minus, some constant plus or minus integral a to b f of x dx. So with the help of this formula, what we can do, we can express the given integral as a to b f of x dx as some constant plus or minus integral a to b f of x dx, or some function plus or minus integral a to b f of x dx. So what is the use of this one? So if you add the first one and second one, so we can able to evaluate the value of y without going to solve this one. In that particular cases, we can use this particular formula. So while doing problems, we understand clear. Okay. Property number 5. Integral 0 to a f of x dx can be written as integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So this we need to prove. What is the difference between the first one and second one? Means property 4 and property 5. Property 4 we have here from A to B. We have from A to B. But in property 5, we have it from 0 to A. That is only the difference. In property number 4, replace A by 0, replace B by A. So we get the same answer. So otherwise we can prove it separately also. So how we can prove? Let consider x is equal to A minus t. X in terms of this. Or RHS, from RHS also we can do. I can say x is equal to A minus t. Then dx can be replaced by minus dt. So now I need a limits in terms of t, because I am converting the function in terms of t, right? Then put x value as 0. Then t will be equal to A minus 0, A. And put x value as A. T will be equal to A minus A, 0. So now the given integral changes, can be rewritten as integral. The limits are changed from A to 0. F of, I have to change x in terms of A minus t. So f of A minus t into the value of dx is minus dt. So now I get this one as minus integral A to 0 f of A minus t into dt. So as for the first property, I can replace t by x, right? So I replace A minus x into dx. Later, so minus of integral A to 0. So if I change the limits, then the integral will be multiplied by minus. So I get integral 0 to A f of A minus x dx. 0 to A f of A minus x dx. Okay, right. This is the property number 5. This one also same as it is what I explained. So with the help of this conversion, I can convert the given integral as some function or constant, plus or minus I. So most of the cases we get minus I. Okay, g of x plus or minus some constant I. So if I convert like this, you can transfer I to left side. So we do, if it is minus, it will be plus I equal to 2i. So 2i equal to gx. We get the answer directly. Sometimes this gx can become 0, x square, or some other things. So 0 is a function in terms of x. How can I write a 0 as a function in terms of x? 0 into x, right? 0 into x. Okay, right. The next property number 6. Property number 6, it says integral 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of x dx plus integral 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Integral 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. So before going to derive this, we use property number 3. So integral 0 to 2a f of x dx can be written as. So how we prove this one? Integral 0 to 2a f of x dx can be written as integral 0 to a, because from 0 to 2a, so I get a in middle. So I can express this entire part as 0 to a plus a to 2a. So 0 to a f of x dx plus integral a to 2a f of x dx. So now this one I want to express in terms of the given. So integral a to 2a f of x dx I want to express in terms of 2a minus x, f of 2a minus x, right? So for that purpose, what we consider, let x is equal to 2a minus t. X is equal to 2a minus t. Then dx will be equal to minus dt. Dx will be equal to minus dt. Now I put x is equal to 0 because the limits, sorry, it's not 0, no, the limit of x is equal to a, the lower limit is a. If I put lower limit a, the value of t will be equal to a, value of t also equal to a. Next, if I substitute x is equal to 2a, the value of t will become 0. So now integral a to 2a f of x dx, a to 2a f of x dx can be reduced in the form integral the limits. If x is equal to a, the value of t will be equal to a. If x is equal to 2a, the value of t is 0, a to 0, and f of x I substituted as 2a minus t into the value of dx will be equal to minus dt. The value of dx is equal to minus dt. So now what we get? We get minus integral a to 0 f of 2a minus x dx. I hope you understand why I wrote x. I have just changed the variable in terms of x. After that, use property number 2. If you use property number 2, I get this one as integral 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. So this can be replaced as 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. So if I replace, I get this proof. Okay. Now from this property, I can derive one more thing. So what is that one more thing? If that is the exercise property number 7. So what is that? If f of x and f of 2a minus x, the value of f of 2a minus x, 2a means this one, not a, right? The value of f of 2a minus x and f of x both are equal. If both are equal, this becomes plus integral 0 to a f of x dx. So integral 0 to a f of x dx plus integral 0 to a f of x dx. 2 times of integral 0 to a f of x dx. That is the first condition. So integral 0 to 2a f of x dx will be equal to 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx if f of x is equal to f of 2a minus x. This becomes 0. When it becomes 0, if f of 2a minus x is equal to minus f of x, if the value of 2a minus x, f of 2a minus x becomes minus of f of x, then if I substitute here minus of 0 to a f of x dx, both will get cancelled. I get 0. In this case, we get the answer as 0. Okay. The next property. Even and odd. The next one, even and odd. So what is the even and odd? If I want to check whether the given function is even or odd, I have to replace x by minus x. So means I have to find if the given f of x, I must find out f of minus x value. If f of x and f of minus x both are equal, f of minus x is equal to f of x, then I call the given function is even function. If f of minus x is equal to f of x, then I call the given, minus f of x, then I call the given function as odd function. So if the given function is even, what happens? If the given function is odd, what happens? That we find out, right? Okay. So given property number 8, integral minus a to a f of x dx is equal to minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 2 times of integral 0 to a f of x dx if f is even, and it will be equal to 0 if f is odd. So let me check how we get this proof. So minus a to a f of x dx, with the help of property number 3, what I can write? Minus a to a f of x dx can be written as minus a to 0 f of x dx plus integral 0 to a f of x dx. Okay, 0 to a f of x dx. So our answer is in terms of 0 to a f of x dx, though then we don't need to simplify this. I want to convert this in the other form. So for that purpose, it depending on whether it is even or odd, so I choose minus x as t. What substitution I choose? Minus x I choose as t. So if I choose minus x as t, then minus dx will be equal to dt. Then minus dx is equal to dt. Otherwise you can substitute x as minus t also. So both are similar. So if I substitute x as minus t, then dx will be equal to minus dt. Now limits. Apply the limits. So I get, if x is equal to minus a, the value of t will be equal to a. If x is equal to minus a, the value of t will be equal to a. And if x is equal to 0, the value of t will be equal to minus 0, nothing but 0. Right? So now, integral minus a to a f of x dx is equal to integral limits a to 0. And f of, in place of x I substitute a minus t. In place of dx we get minus dt. So as of now we did many times, so I write directly. So what I get? Integral 0 to a f of minus x dx. Now case 1 and case 2 occurs. So the value of this one is nothing but equal to 0 to a f of minus x dx. If this is replaced by 0 to a f of minus x dx, integral 0 to a f of minus x dx, So now check whether condition satisfying or not. Even. So what even function says? F of minus x is equal to f of x. So the given function f of x is even, then this f of minus x can be replaced by f of x. So I get answer as 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of x dx. So 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of x dx, both are same. So 2 times of 0 to a f of x dx. So what if the function is odd? If the function is odd, so this becomes minus of f of x. Means I get minus of 0 to a f of x dx plus 0 to a f of x dx. So positive negative both get cancelled. I get the resultant as 0. Okay. So these are the properties. With the help of these properties, we have to solve the problems in this particular exercise. Shall we do? So we solve the problems. Discontinuities. Discontinuities is what we discussed in the beginning. For discontinuities, step function is the best example. So step function gives a best example for discontinuities. Step function is a discontinuous function for all the values of x belongs to integer. Step function, if I consider this step function is discontinuous for all integers. If I take its graph from 0 to 1, it acts as 0, but at exactly 1 it becomes 1. What do you mean by step function? Least, the nearest and smallest integer. Suppose if I take a number 1.5 to 1.5, what is the nearest and smallest integer? 1. If I take 1.99, for this also the nearest and smallest integer. You may feel like 2 is the nearest one. but 2 is the greater one. So we should not consider greater one. We have to consider always the smaller one. So even it is a 1.999 also, we get the answer as 1. So now from 0 to 1, it acts as 0, and at 1 it becomes 1. Same thing followed for 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 it acts as 1, and at 2 it becomes 2. And again from 2 to 3 it acts as 2, and at 3 it becomes 3. So likewise it is discontinuous at 1, 2, 3, 4 as well as 0 for negative values also, right? So it has these many discontinuities. Now if I want to evaluate integral 1 to 3 step x dx, so how it behaves in interval 1 to 3 we have to find out. So we have a discontinuities from 1 to 3. From 1 to 3 we have only one integer, which is 2. So we have only one point of discontinuity. So now the given entire interval is divided into two parts. The first part is 1 to 2 and the second part is 2 to 3. The first part, integral 1 to 2 step x dx plus integral 2 to 3 step x dx. Now integral 1 to 2, what is the value of step x? From 1 to 2, the value of step x is 1. So integral 1 to 2 step x will be equal to 1 dx plus between 2 to 3 how it behaves. Between 2 to 3 the value of step x is 2. So the step x can be replaced as 2 dx. Now evaluate its integration. 1 dx is equal to x 1 to 2 plus 2 is a constant, take it out. Now substitute 2 minus 1 plus 2 into 3 minus 2. 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 2 into 3 minus 2 is 1, 2. So our answer is 3. So one more example. If given the given amount is step x square, and given thing is step x square, integral 1 to 2, step x square, or 0 to 2 you can see, 0 to 2 step x square dx. So this is the property of step x. Means inside I have just x, that's what it satisfies. But now I have inside x square. Now we have to check the discontinuities where x square becomes an integer, not x. Where x square becomes an integer. Suppose if I have a 7x, I have to check step of 7x. I have to check where 7x becomes an integer. So not only the x. So if 7x becomes an integer, that point acts as the point of discontinuity. So from 0 to 2, how many discontinuities we have? From 0 to 2, how many discontinuities we have? So from 0 to 2 directly I can take 1 is a discontinuity, the first one. 0 to 2. 1 is the first point of discontinuity. The next one. So in between 1 to 2, the values of square roots you find. Root 1 is 1, root 2, because it's x square, no? To find x, take square root on both sides, right? So x square equal to some constant. If I consider x will be equal to root of constant, so the constant values you substitute, because I cannot substitute any negative values, right? I cannot substitute any negative values, so I go with only positive values. So I go with only positive values. Okay. Root over what I can consider, root over 1, which is equal to 1. Minus 1 I can't take because it's not lying in between 0 to 2. Next, root 2, square root of 2. If I take squaring, I get 2, which lies in between 0. Root 2 lies in between 0 and 2. Understood? Root 2, because the value of root 2, these are the limits what they given for x. These are limits given for x, and we need to find x square is integer or not. So it's root 2, we're telling root 2 whole square lies in between 0 and root 2. You got that? Actually we have interval 0 to 2, root 2 whole square is 2, root 2 whole square is 2, and 2 does not lies in between 0 and 2. It is the end point 2. Okay, that question, that's a cross question. So that question, you are checking the value of x square in limit. No, we have to check the value of x in limit and x square is integer or not. The value of x in limits, you have to consider the x in this limit, and you have to check whether x square is integer or not. So now if I take root 2, the value of root 2 is 1.414. The value of root 2 is 1.414. So 1.414 lies in between 1 and 2. Lies in between 1 and 2. So definitely x square will be equal to 2. It is integer. So it is acts as point of discontinuity. Next, root 3. 1.73. Right. 1.732. So 1.732 lies in between root 2 and 2. So that is also acts as a point of discontinuity. So root 3 square is 3. 3. Yes, it is integer. Next, root 4. Root 4 does not lies in between 0 to 2. It is a end point 2. So no need to consider that particular point. So how many regions I got? I got these regions. How many regions? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the given interval change into integral 0 to 1 step x square dx plus integral 1 to root 2 step x square dx plus integral root 2 to root 3 step x square dx plus integral root 3 to root 3 to 2 step x square dx. Now I have to find these values. So now after substituting the values, what is the x square? What is the value of x square in between 0 and 1? In between 0 and 1, if I substitute the value of x as 1, I get 1 square, which is 1. So between 0 and 1, takes as step 1 dx. So the value of step 1 dx. See, in between 0 to 1, take 0.5. Take 0.5, which lies in between 0 to 1. 0.5 whole square is nothing but 0.25. 0.25, the step value of 0.25 is nothing but equal to 0. So I get integral 1 to 2 0 dx plus between root 3 and root 2. Between root 3 and root 2, how it behaves. Sorry, it's 1 to root 2, no? Sorry, it's 1 to root 2. So between 1 and root 2, the highest value. What's the highest value? Root 2 whole square is 2. So it lies less than 2 and more than 1. So between 1 and 2, this value, what is this value? The lower limit is 1 square, which is 1. Upper limit is root 2. Root 2 square is 2. So between 1 and 2, how this step x behaves? Between 1 and 2, the value of step x is 1. So I get here integral 1 to root 2 1 dx plus integral root 2 to root 3 root 2 to root 3. What is the lower limit? Root 2. So lower limit square is 2. Upper limit root 3. Upper limit square is 3. So how step x behaves in between 2 and 3? In between 2 and 3, step x behaves as 2. So I get here 2 dx plus integral root 3 to 2. Root 3 to 2. So in between root 3 to 2, so how it behaves? Root 3 square is 3. 2 square is 4. So between 3 and 4. Why I am checking square? The actual function is x square. And the limits are root 3 and 2. That's what how it behaves in that particular thing we have to check. The x square. The behavior of x square we have to check. That's what I am checking, the behavior of x square. So root 3 substituted, 3 to 4 I got 3 to 4, right? So 3 to 4 it behaves as 3. So I get 3 dx. That's all. This is our answer. Evaluate. So if you evaluate, so I get 0 to dx vanishes. And 1 dx is x. 1 to 2. 1 to root 2, right? Plus root 2 to 3. Root 2 to root 3. Plus 3 we have. Step root 3 to 2. So now the answer, root 2 minus 1 plus 2 into root 3 minus 2 into root 2 plus 3 into 2 minus 3 into root 3. Still if you simplify, 3 to the 6, 3 to the 6 minus 1, 5. Next root 2. Root 2 minus 2 root 2 minus root 2. And 2 root 3 minus 3 root 3 minus root 3. This gives our answer. Okay. Next one more best example, modulus function. So points of discontinuity of modulus function. We have only one discontinuity for any modulus function. Only one discontinuity. So where it changes its sign, that is nothing but its discontinuity. If I have a modulus of x minus a, it changes at a. If I substitute x minus a equal to 0, x equal to a. So it changes at a. So to a means left side of a it behaves negative. Right side of a behaves as a positive function. Left side of a behaves as a negative function and right side of a behaves as positive function. If suppose I have considered x plus b, so its point of discontinuity is minus b. So if I consider the values which are lesser than minus b, it behaves as a negative function. And if I consider any values more than minus b, it behaves as positive function. So now if I go with some example, integral 2 to 3 modulus of x dx. Integral 2 to 3 modulus of x dx. So modulus x, its turning point is 0 because we have directly x equal to 0. So turning point is 0. But 0 to left means if you consider any value which is less than 0, it behaves as negative. If you consider any value which is more than 0, it behaves as positive. Right? Actually modulus of x is equal to minus x if x is less than 0, which is equal to plus x when x is greater than or equal to 0. Same way if you have any variable, just in place of zeros, we get that variable. So now the limits, based on limits we have to consider, right? The limits are lying from 2 to 3. 2 to 3. The limits are lying from 2 to 3. So in this particular interval, how modulus of x behaves? This interval 2 to 3 is lying right side of 0. So if it lies right side of 0, definitely it is positive. So this particular mod x in interval 2 to 3 acts as positive function. So I get this one as integral 2 to 3 x dx. 2 to 3 x dx. Now x integration is x square by 2. The limits are 2 to 3. So 9 by 2 minus 4 by 2. Answer 5 by 2. Okay. So one more. Integral 2 to 4. integral 2 to 4 modulus of x minus 2 plus integral 2 to 4 modulus of x minus 2 plus modulus of x minus 3 modulus of x minus 3 plus modulus of x minus 4 dx. So now how it behaves. See how many critical points we have. We have here 3 critical points. What are the 3 critical points? For the first function, second function, third function. First function critical point is 2. Second function critical point is 3. Third function critical point is 4. So now the interval is 2 to 4. 2 to 4. So in between 2 to 4, how these functions behaves? How these functions behaves? So each function depends on its critical value, its own critical value. Its own critical value, nothing but turning point. X minus 2 turning point is 2. And x minus 3 turning point is 3. And x minus 4 turning point is 4. So in between 2 and 4, we have 3. So the given entire integral divides into 2 parts. So what are the 2 parts? How it behaves in 2 to 3 and how it behaves in 3 to 4. So I check that. Integral 2 to 3. 2 to 3. First function. So its critical value is 2. The region 2 to 3 lies the right side of its turning point. So if it is right side of turning point, we get positive. So positive, we get x minus 2 plus. Next, the second function, x minus 3. Its critical point is 3. But 2 to 3 lies left side of 3. So if it is left side of 3, I should take the function as negative. So plus into minus, it becomes minus x minus 3. The next case, x minus 4. The next function, x minus 4. Its critical point is 4. Its critical point is 4. So, and 2 to 3 lies left side of x minus 4. Means left side of the critical point 4. Left side. So again it becomes minus. So minus of x minus 4 dx. Plus the second part. What is the second part? 3 to 4. So how these functions behave from 3 to 4? 3 to 4. First one, x minus 2. Critical point is 2. And 3 to 4 lies right side of 2. So x minus 2 becomes positive. Next, the second function critical point is 3. And 3 to 4 lies right side of 3. So I get plus x minus 3. Next critical point 4. And 3 to 4 lies left side of 4. If it is lies left side of 4, we get minus of the given function. Yes, I got it. So after that, integral 2 to 3. Simplify this. X minus x minus x. So I get minus x. Minus 2 plus 3. 1 plus 4. 5 dx. Plus integral 3 to 4. X plus x minus x, which is x. Minus 2 minus 3 minus 5. Minus 5 plus 4 minus 1 dx. So now find its integrals. Minus x integral minus of x square by 2 and the limit is 2 to 3 plus 5 integration 5 into x 2 to 3 x integration plus x square by 2 3 to 4 minus 1 integration minus x 3 to 4. Substitute the values. Minus of 3 square is 9. So 9 by 4 minus 2 square is 4. 9 by 2. 4 by 2 plus 5 into 3 minus 2 plus 4 square 16. 16 by 2 minus 3 square 9. 9 by 2 minus 4 minus 3. So simplest values the simplest value is 9 minus 4, 5. So minus 5 by 2 plus 3 minus 2 is 1. 5 ones are 5. Plus, not cancelling, just I simplify. 16 minus 9, 7 by 2. Minus 4 minus 3, 1. So minus 1. 5 by 2 plus 7 by 2. It's minus 5 plus 7. Minus 5 plus 7, 2. 2 by 2 is 1. And 1 minus 1 gets cancelled. We get the answer as 5. So what is our answer? Integral 0 to 2 x plus 1 by modulus of x plus 1 dx. X minus 1 by modulus of x minus 1 dx. So here we have a modulus. So wherever you see modulus, our first work to find its turning point. So what is the turning point? So modulus of x minus 1, x is equal to 1 is the turning point. So one left side and one right side. And the given limit is 0 to 2. 0 to 2. So one lies in between 0 to 2. So the interval is broken into two parts. First part is 0 to 1 and the second part is 1 to 2. So the given integral can be rewritten as integral 0 to 1 x minus 1 by modulus of x minus 1 dx plus integral 1 to 2 x minus 1 by modulus of x minus 1 dx. Now 0 to 1, interval 0 to 1, how modulus of x minus 1 behaves? The critical is nothing but terminating point is 1 and 0 to 1 lies left side of 1. Then modulus of x minus 1 behaves as a negative. So I get x minus 1 by minus of x minus 1 dx plus integral 1 to 2 x minus 1 by modulus of x minus 1 from 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 is the right side of 1. So right side of 1, it becomes positive. So I get x minus 1 dx. Gets cancelled. I get here minus x, limits are 0 to 1, plus x, limits are 1 to 2. So then I get the answer minus of 1 minus 0 plus 2 minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1, which gives the answer as 0. Okay, so next problem. Integral minus pi by 3 to pi by 3. Integral minus pi by 3 to pi by 3. X square sin x plus x square sin x plus tan cube x dx. Tan cube x dx. So whenever you see the condition like minus a to a, so what we have to follow? If I see the condition minus a to a, integral minus a to a f of x dx, I have to check whether the given function is even or odd. If the given function is even, our answer will be 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. If the function is odd, then we get the answer as 0. So let me check the function is even or odd. The given function is f of x is equal to x square sin x plus tan cube x. So f of minus x is equal to minus x the whole square into sin of minus x plus tan of minus x whole cube. So f of minus x is equal to minus x the whole square, which is nothing but x square. Sin of minus x is minus sin x. So I get minus x square into sin x plus tan of minus x. Tan of minus theta is minus tan theta. So tan of minus x becomes minus tan x. Minus tan x whole power 3. 3 is odd. So I get again minus. So plus into minus, minus, which is tan x. Sorry, tan cube x. Right? Power 3 is there. So if I take minus common, I get x square sin x plus tan cube x. x square sin x plus tan cube x, which is nothing but f of x. So I am getting an answer as minus f of x. So if the function f of x is equal to minus f of x, then we call that function as odd function. So if you get the function as odd, we get the answer 0. So if f is odd, we get the answer as 0. So the given function value, integral value will be equal to 0. After this, integral 0 to pi e power cos square x into cos x dx. 0 to pi integral 0 to pi e power cos square x into cos x dx. E power cos square x into cos x dx. Let consider this given function as I. Now it is looking like 0 to a. So integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So what is the use of taking this? This is already explained. So with the help of this formula, we convert the given function as x plus or minus I. X plus or minus integral 0 to a f of x. That x represents some constant function or some other function. It is some function plus or minus I, the given thing. So by adding and subtracting, we can find the value of I. So that's what I am initiating in that way. So I can be written as integral 0 to pi e power cos square pi minus x into cos pi minus x. So I get integral 0 to pi e power cos 180 minus theta minus cos theta, second quadrant, minus cos theta whole square. So I get cos square x, cos of 180 minus theta minus cos theta. So I get cos of x is minus. So I get the value of I. I is equal to minus integral 0 to pi e power cos square x into cos x dx. Which is nothing but this one can be replaced as I. So I is equal to minus I. Then I plus I is equal to 0, which represents 2i is equal to 0. So the value of I is equal to 0. So the integral of 0 to pi e power cos square x into cos x dx gives answer 0. After this, integral 0 to pi by 2 log tan x dx. Log tan x dx. So consider this as I, and it's looking like 0 to a. So I can take, if I have an integral 0 to a f of x dx can be considered as integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So with the help of this formula, I can simplify the given integral as I is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log tan x, tan of pi by 2 minus x as a minus x dx. Tan 90 minus theta cot theta. So I is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log cot x dx. The given question is given in terms of tan x and I converted this in terms of cot x. Tan x and this one is in terms of cot x. If I add both, equation 1 plus equation 2. So consider this as equation 1 and this as equation 2. So equation 1 plus 2. I plus I is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. 0 to pi by 2 log tan x plus log cot x dx. It is in the form log m plus log n. So log m plus log n is equal to log m into n. So I can rewrite it as 2i is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log tan x into cot x dx. As we know, tan x into cot x is 1 and log 1 value is 0. So I get 2a is equal to 0. That implies the value of I is equal to 0. So prove that integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to, do that, integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So what formula I used in previous problems, now they asked us to prove. Already we discussed proofs in the beginning while explaining the properties. So follow the properties and use the proof, prove it. And hence, with the help of this property, evaluate integral 0 to pi by 2. Evaluate integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 1 plus tan x dx. 1 by 1 plus tan x dx. Let us consider the given thing as I, and it can be rewritten with the help of this formula. Integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 1 plus tan x, tan of pi by 2 minus x dx. So now can be simplified as integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 1 plus cot x dx. 1 by 1 plus cot x dx. So can I able to express this 1 by 1 plus cot x in terms of 1 by 1 plus tan x? Check whether I am able to express or not. Yes, I can do it. So I can rewrite this one as integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 1 plus 1 by tan x. Take LCM and simplify. We get it as integral 0 to pi by 2 tan x by tan x plus 1 dx. Tan x by tan x plus 1 dx. Now the given one, equation 1, and what I got, equation 2. Add equation 1 and equation 2. So what we get? I plus I is equal to, both integrals having same limit. So I can add integral 0 to pi by 2 1 by 1 plus tan x plus tan x by 1 plus tan x. Both denominators are same. So I get denominator as 1 plus tan x and numerator as 1 plus tan x dx. So it gets cancelled. I get integral 0 to pi by 2 dx. Integral 0 to pi by 2 dx is nothing but equal to integral dx. 0 to pi by 2 dx, integral dx. So integral dx is x and the limits are from 0 to pi by 2. So I get x from 0 to pi by 2. So the value of 2I is equal to pi by 2 minus 0, which is equal to pi by 2. And I need only the value of I. So I is equal to 2 multiplying, transfer right side, divides. So I get pi by 4. So the value of I is pi by 4. This I evaluated with the help of this formula. So proofs, few proofs, we need to know how to prove those. Okay. After this, modulus functions. Already we done modulus functions. So we take one problem. Integral minus 2 to 2 modulus of 2x plus 3 dx. Integral minus 2 to 2 integral minus 2 to 2 modulus of 2x plus 3 dx. So in the beginning, what we do? See, if I see minus APA, I check whether the given function is even or odd. The function f of x is given as modulus of 2x plus 3. F of minus x is equal to modulus of minus 2x plus 3. So which is cannot be expressed as either minus f of x or f of x. So the given function is neither even nor odd. So that I cannot apply. Then I just split the given interval. with the help of turning point. So what is the turning point? 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3 equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 3 by 2. Minus 3 by 2, which is nothing but minus 1.5. So minus 1.5 to left side and minus 1.5 to right side. And the given integral is minus 2 to 2. So which is lies in between this. So the given integral is split into two integrals, two parts. First integral having limits minus 2 to minus 3 by 2. Second integral having limits minus 3 by 2 to 2. So now we check the behavior of the given function in this particular interval. So it is divided into two parts. The first part is integral minus 2 to minus 3 by 2 modulus of 2x plus 3 dx plus integral minus 3 by 2 to 2 modulus of 2x plus 3 dx modulus of 2x plus 3 dx. Now we have to check the behavior. So from minus 2 to minus 3 by 2, this region, the region is lies left side of the critical point. So if it is left side, I consider the function as negative. So in this particular region, the function acts as negative. So minus integral minus 2 to minus 3 by 2, 2x plus 3 dx. I have considered the minus outside, plus minus 3 by 2 to 2, which is right side of the critical value, nothing but turning point. So if it is right side, the function value becomes positive. So I get minus 3 by 2 to 2, the given modulus as 2x plus 3 dx. So now evaluate this function. Minus of 2x integration is 2 into x square by 2 plus 3 integration 3 into x. The limits are minus 2 to minus 3 by 2 plus 2x integration 2 into x square by 2 plus 3 integration 3x, and the limits are minus 3 by 2 to 2. So now apply the limits. Here we can cancel the 2 and 2, 2 and 2. So now apply minus 3 by 2 whole square, which is nothing but 9 by 4 plus 3 into minus 3 by 2 minus 9 by 2 minus of, substitute minus 2, minus 2 whole square is 4 plus 3 into minus 2 minus 6 plus 2 square 4, 2 square I get 4. After that plus 3 2s are 6. Next substitute minus 3 by 2, which we get plus 9 by minus of, we are applying lower limit, so we should put it in bracket. So minus of minus 3 by 2 whole square, which is equal to 9 by 4 plus 3 into minus 3 by 2, 3 into minus 3 by 2, which is nothing but minus 9 by 2. Simplify. So I get minus 9 by 4 minus into minus plus 9 by 2 minus 4 minus 6 minus 2, minus 2 into minus plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 10 minus 9 by 4 minus of minus plus 9 by 2 minus 9 by 4 minus 9 by 4 minus 18 by 4 9 by 2 plus 9 by 2 18 by 2 2 plus 10 12. So what I get? 2 1s are 2, 9s are 12 plus 9 21 minus 9 by 2 42 minus 9 33. So I get the answer 33 by 2.
check once again. Minus 9 by 4, minus into minus plus 9 by 2, minus into minus plus inverse, so we get here minus 2. So if it is minus 2, I get here 8. I get here 8. 8 plus 9, 17. 17. 2 17s are 34. 34 minus 9. 30 minus 9, 21. 21 plus 4, 25. So the answer is 25 by 2. Answer 25 by 2. So we shall move on to the next question. The next question. Integral 0 to pi modulus of cos x dx. Integral 0 to pi modulus of cos x dx. Integral 0 to pi modulus of cos x dx. Modulus of cos x dx. So how it be the modulus of cos x behaves in 0 to pi? 0 to pi first quadrant and second quadrant. In first quadrant cos is positive, second quadrant cos is negative. So I have to divide the interval into two parts. The reference one is pi by 2. First quadrant and second quadrant, which are divided by pi by 2 line. So 0 to pi interval divided into 0 to pi by 2 modulus of cos x dx plus integral pi by 2 to pi modulus of cos x dx. So modulus of cos x in first quadrant positive. So cos x integration. Okay, I write the answer. 0 to pi by 2. So modulus of cos x is cos x plus pi by 2 to pi. Pi by 2 to pi. Second quadrant. Second quadrant cos x behaves negative. So I get here minus sin x. Minus cos x dx from pi by 2 to pi. Cos x integration sin x, the limits are 0 to pi by 2 minus cos x integration sin x, and the limits are pi by 2 to pi. Sin pi by 2 1 minus sin 0 0 minus sin pi 0 minus sin pi by 2 1. So now 1 minus of minus 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1. So I get the answer as 2. After this, the next question. Integral 0 to pi by 2. Integral 0 to pi by 2. Integral 0 to pi by 2. 2 power sin x by 2 power sin x plus 2 power cos x dx. 2 power sin x by 2 power cos x plus 2 power sin x dx. Start. Okay, solve. So given question. Two power sin x, and it's given like 0 to a. So I use formula integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So I use the formula. So given integral I consider as I can be reduced as integral 0 to pi by 2 power sin pi by 2 minus x by 2 power sin pi by 2 minus x plus 2 power cos pi by 2 minus x dx. Sin of 90 minus theta, pi by 2 minus theta is cos theta. So I get in numerator 2 power cos x by 2 power cos x plus 2 power sin x dx. Take this equation as 2 and the given equation as 1. So add equation 1 and equation 2. Then I get I plus I is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. See, the denominator is 2 power sin x plus 2 power cos x. 2 power cos x plus 2 power sin x. Denominators are same. So I can take the denominator as LCM, which is 2 power cos x plus 2 power sin x. And the first one numerator is 2 power sin x. Second one numerator is 2 power cos x dx. So both the gets cancelled. I get 1 dx. So integral 1 dx is x. So I get 2I is equal to x 0 to pi by 2. So 2I is equal to pi by 2 minus 0, which is nothing but pi by 2. That implies the value of I will be equal to pi by 4. So integral 0 to pi by 2, 2 power sin x by 2 power sin x plus 2 power cos x dx will be equal to pi by 4. After this, the next question. Integral log next question integral the limits given as integral log 1 by 2 to log 2 sin e power x plus 1 by e power x minus 1 dx, which is given. I consider the given integral as I, and I should go for simplification. See, I have here log 2 and this one is log 1 by 2. So logarithms I want to express both. I want to express in the same way in terms of 2. How can I express? Log 1 by 2 can be written as log 1 by 2 can be written as log 2 power minus 1. Log 1 by 2 can be written as log 2 power minus 1. So it is in the form log a power m. So can be rewritten as m into log a. So I get minus log 2. So log of 1 by 2 can be rewritten as minus log 2. Then I get I as integral minus log 2 to log 2 sin e power x plus 1 by e power x plus 1, e power x minus 1 dx. So now you see this is like integral minus a to a f of x. So if you have in that form, first and foremost thing what I ask you to check whether the given function is even or odd. So the given function f of x is equal to sin e power x plus 1 by e power x minus 1. So now f of minus x is equal to sin e power minus x plus 1 by e power minus x minus 1. E power minus x minus 1. So now I get the answer as sine e power minus x can be written as 1 by e power x plus 1 by 1 by e power x minus 1, which is equal to sine 1 plus e power x by e power x. I took e power x as LCM by 1 minus e power x by e power x. E power x gets cancelled. I got 1 plus e power x by 1 minus e power x. But the given question is in the form e power x plus 1 by e power x minus 1. With the numerator, no problem. But denominator is like e power x minus 1 and 1 minus e power x. So if I want to express as in terms of the given question, so I can take minus common. Then f of minus x will be equal to sine of, if I take minus common here, minus e power x plus 1 by e power x minus 1. And as I know, sine of minus theta. I hope you got this. In this I took minus common. So 1 by minus is nothing but minus. 1 minus e power x becomes e power x minus 1. 1 plus e power x and e power x plus 1 both are same. So no issues. So I get sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. So minus sine of e power x plus 1 by e power x minus 1, which is nothing but minus f of x. So f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So the given function is odd. If the given function is odd, the answer will be equal to 0. So integral of given thing is 0. Next question. Integral 0 to 3 x square into root over 3 minus x dx. X square into root over 3 minus x dx. So this is useful whenever you have the given integral in powers of n. So here the given root of 3 minus x. Root of 3 minus x. If suppose it is root of 3 minus x square, so we may have some chances to solve with the help of root over a square minus b square form. Sorry, is a square minus x square form. But it is just x. It's just x. So I use properties. So how I can use these properties? So I have I is equal to integral 0 to 3 x square into root of 3 minus x dx, and it is like 0 to a f of x. So I can be written as integral 0 to a f of x can be written as f of a minus x. So I can write in place of x 3 minus x whole square root over 3 minus in place of x 3 minus x dx. Sometimes they may give 1 minus x power n or 1 plus x power n. So you just go with this method. So it makes easy. Get the solution simply. Right? Then I is equal to integral 0 to 3 minus x the whole square. 9 plus x square minus 6x into root over 3 minus 3 plus x. Plus 3 minus 3 gets cancelled and we get only root over x. Root over x is nothing but x power 1 by 2. So I simplify this. You see, 0 to 3, 9 into root over x power 1 by 2 plus x square into root x, which is nothing but x square into x power 1 by 2. Bases are same, powers will be added. So x power 2 plus 1 by 2. So I get x power 5 by 2 minus 6 into x power 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2. X power 3 by 2 dx. So now evaluate its integral. Find the integration. Integral 0 to 3, 9. 9 is a constant. X power 1 by 2 integration. X power 1 by 2 plus 1. So I get x power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2, 0 to 3, plus x power 5 by 2 plus 1, 7 by 2 by 7 by 2. Limit 0 to 3, minus 6, x power 3 by 2, x power 3 by 2 plus 1, 5 by 2, 3 by 2 plus 1, 5 by 2 by 5 by 2. The limits are 0 to 3. Substitute. So 9 constant and denominator constant, you can write it out, which is nothing but 2 by 3, x power 3 by 2. So we get 3 power 3 by 2 minus 0 power 3 by 2. So I get 3 power 3 by 2 plus 2 by 7 into 3 power 7 by 2. 3 power 7 by 2. Next, 3 by 2 is we get 2 by 3. 7 by 2, 2 by 7. Next, minus 6 into 2 by 5. 6 into 2 by 5. 3 power 5 by 2. 3 power 5 by 2. Simple form. If I am going to simplify this, 1s are 3 3s are 6 into 3 power 3 by 2 means 3 power 1 plus 1 by 2 means I get 3 root 3 plus 2 by 7 into 3 power 7 by 2. 3 power 7 by 2, 3 power 3 plus 1 by 2. 3 power 3 plus 1 by 2. 3 power 3 plus 1 by 2, I can write as 3 cube into root 3. 3 cube into root 3. Next, 6 into 2, 12 by 5 into 3 power 5 by 2. 3 power 5, 3 power 2 plus 1 by 2. So 3 square into root 3. So simplify by taking root 3 common. See, if I take root 3 common, I is equal to root 3 common. 6 3s are 18 plus 2 into 27. 2 into 27, 54 by 7 minus 12 into 9. 12 into 9, 108. 12 into 9, 108. 108 by 5. 108 by 5. So I get root 3 into 35 LCM. 35 into 18. 35 into 18. 35 into 18 multiply. 40. 24 plus 4. 28. 5 3. 0. 630 plus 54 into 5. 270 minus 108 into 7. 756. Simplify this. 630 plus 270. 630 plus 270, 900. 900 minus 756. 4, 4, 1. So what we get? 144 by 35 into root 3. This is the integral zero to pi 4x sin x by 4x sin x by 1 plus cos square x dx. Four x sin x by 1 plus cos square x dx. See, whenever if you have a numerator x into something or x, so our first work is to eliminate that x. We have to eliminate that x, convert into some only one form. If I have a product form like x into sin x, x into cos x, x into e power x, so first I try to eliminate that x. So get the equation or the integrand in the form of one function in numerator without any product like sin x, cos x, e power x, or only x. So try to get in that form. After that go for the simplification. And that too we have integral 0 to pi. Consider it as I, it is integral 0 to pi, which is looking like integral 0 to a. So integral 0 to a f of x dx can be written as integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So apply this form. So if I apply, the given integral can be reduced as integral 0 to pi 4 into pi minus x into sine pi minus x by 1 plus cos square pi minus x dx. So cos square pi minus x dx can be written as cos of pi minus x whole square. Now I is equal to integral 0 to pi 4 into pi minus x sine of pi minus x. Second coordinate sign is positive, so I get sin x by 1 plus cos of pi minus x. Second coordinate cos is negative, but negative square is positive. So again I get here cos square x dx. Take the given one as equation 1. So what you got it as equation 2. Equation 1 plus equation 2. I plus I. 2i is equal to integral 0 to pi. Denominator is same. What I have? 1 plus cos square x. The denominator is 1 plus cos square x. And going to the numerator. In first one I have a 4 into sin x. Second one also 4 into sin x. So I can take 4 into sin x common. First one left over is x. Second one left over is pi minus x dx. So minus x plus x gets cancelled. We got 4 pi into sin x. So 2i is equal to 4 pi into integral 0 to pi sin x by 1 plus cos square x dx. I got 2i is 4 pi integral 0 to pi sin x by 1 plus cos square x dx. So go with simplification. 0 to pi. Pi can be written as 2 into pi by 2. 2 into pi by 2. So I have integral 0 to 2a f of x dx a formula. So to check whether the formula, if it has a two options. If f of x is equal to f of 2a minus x, I get the answer as 2 into integral 0 to a f of x. If f of 2a minus x is minus f of x, I get the answer as 0. So I check whether f of 2a minus x will be equal to f of x or not. So f of the value of 2a is pi. Pi minus x is equal to sin pi minus x by 1 plus cos square pi minus x, which is nothing but cos pi minus x whole square, is equal to sin pi minus x. Second coordinate is positive, so which is equal to sin x by 1 plus cos pi minus x minus cos x whole square plus cos square x. So I get 1 plus cos square x. So f of x is equal to f of 2a minus x. Therefore we get the answer as 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. So now what is the value of A? The value of A is pi by 2 because I wrote pi as 2 into pi by 2 to apply the formula. Therefore I get 2i is equal to 4 pi into integral 0 to pi by 2 sin x by 1 plus cos square x dx, and go with the simplification of sin x dx. In numerator I have sin x, so I can use the substitution. Put cos x is equal to t. So we go with the substitution, otherwise still we can simplify. Uh, 0 to pi by 2 is like a 0 to a f of x dx. Cos x equal to t. Put cos x equal to t. Then minus sin x dx equal to dt. Substitute. So minus cos x equal to t. So if I go with the minus cos x equal to t, so I get minus sin x dx equal to dt. Minus sin x dx is equal to dt. So then what we get? Substitution. After substituting, we have to change the limits also. Change the limits. If x is equal to 0, the value of t will be equal to cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. If x equal to pi by 2, if x equal to pi by 2, cos pi by 2, the value of t is cos pi by 2, which is equal to 0. So now the given integral changes as 2a is equal to 4 pi integral 1 to 0 minus dt by 1 plus t square, minus dt by 1 plus t square. So now apply the first property. So I take this minus out, then I get minus here. Minus integral a to b f of x dx can be written as plus integral b to a f of x dx, and 2 1s are 2 2s are. So I get now I is equal to 2 pi. I is equal to 2 pi into, see, it is 2 into integral 0 to a. I forgot to substitute here 2. 2 2s are 8. It is 8 pi to 4 times. So now I get I is equal to 4 pi into this 2, formula 2 I forgot to substitute, right? So now 4 pi into integral 0 to 1 by 1 plus t square dt. So which is equal to 4 pi into 1 by 1 plus t square tan inverse of t 0 to 1, tan inverse of t 0 to 1. So now I get 4 pi into tan inverse of 1 pi by 4 minus tan inverse of 0 0. So now 4 pi into pi by 4, 4 and 4 get cancelled. I get pi into pi square. So the integral of 0 to pi 4x sin x by 1 plus cos square x dx is equal to pi square. Next question given as integral 2 to 3 I is equal to integral 2 to 3 root over x by root of x plus root of pi minus x dx. So it's not like 0 to a, it's like a to b. So I have a formula, integral a to b f of x dx can be written as integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So with the help of this property, I evaluate this one. So the given integral I can be reduced as integral 2 to 3 root over a plus b 2 plus 3 5 minus x by root of 5 minus x plus root of 5 minus x dx. Now I is equal to integral 2 to 3 root of 5 minus x by root of 5 minus x plus 5 minus 5. Let's cancel. Minus of minus x becomes x dx. So now the given one takes 1 and this has 2. Add 1 and 2, I get I plus I, which is equal to integral 2 to 3. Denominators are same. So I can take same denominator, which is root x plus root of 5 minus x, and the first one numerator is root x, so root x plus second one numerator is root of 5 minus x dx. Both gets cancelled. Then 2i is equal to integral x dx, integral 1 dx, because both are got cancelled. 1 dx, so integral 1 dx is x, so I get x of limits 2 to 3, so which are equal to 3 minus 2, 1. So the value of 2i is 1, then I will be equal to 1 by 2. Next question. If a function f is continuous on closed AB, then show that integral a to b f of x by f of x plus f of a plus b minus x dx is equal to b minus a by 2. Take LHS and I have a integral a to b. So consider LHS I as integral a to b f of x by f of x plus f of a plus b minus x dx. So as per the formula, integral a to b f of x is total considered as f of x. Integral a to b f of x dx can be written as integral a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. So I reduce with that help of that formula. Then I will be reduced as a to b f of, in place of x I have to substitute a plus b minus x by f of a plus b minus x plus f of a plus b minus of a plus b minus x dx. So now I is equal to integral a to b f of a plus b minus x by f of a plus b minus x plus minus a plus a gets cancelled, plus b minus b gets cancelled, minus of minus x is x, so I get f of x dx. So that will be 1 and this is 2. Add 1 and 2, so I get I plus I is equal to integral a to b. Check the denominators, both are same, so I take the same denominator, which is f of a plus b minus x plus f of x, and the first one numerator is f of x, so I get f of x plus second one numerator is f of a plus b minus x, so both gets cancelled, so I get 1 dx. So 2i is equal to 1 dx is x, the limits are a to b. So now what I get after applying the limits, I get it as b minus a. I want just I, so I is equal to b minus a by 2. b minus a by 2. What they asked us to prove. After this, the next question. Integral 0 to pi integral 0 to pi x into log sin x dx. X into log sin x dx. Evaluate. So consider the given thing as I. So I consider it as I. So I have a product in x. So I want to remove this x. For that purpose, I use integral 0 to a form. So integral 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. F of a minus x dx. Now apply that formula. I get the I as integral 0 to pi. X can be written as pi minus x into log sine of pi minus x dx. Now I is equal to integral 0 to pi minus x log of sine pi minus x, sine 180 minus theta plus sine theta because it lies in second quadrant. So I get pi minus x log sine x dx. So it's given as equation 1, and if I consider this as equation 2, add 1 and 2. So I get I plus I is equal to, both are same integrals, so I get 0 to pi, and both are having log sin x dx common. So I take log sin x dx common, and first integral contains x, second integral contains pi minus x, plus x minus x gets cancelled. So I get 2I is equal to integral 0 to pi. So I have a pi here, take pi out. So 0 to pi log sin x dx. So log sin x dx. Now I have to evaluate this one. So I have to evaluate this. Integral 0 to pi log sin x dx. So shall we check this one whether it satisfies integral 0 to 2a or not? See, I have here pi. Pi can be written as 2 into pi by 2. 2 into pi by 2. So I consider f of x as log sin x. So what about f of 2a minus x? 2a minus x represents the value of 2a is pi. F of pi minus x, which is equal to log sin pi minus x, nothing but equal to log sin x. F of x is equal to f of 2a minus x. Then integral 0 to a f of x dx can be written as, sorry, it is 2a, no? Integral 0 to 2a f of x dx can be written as 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. So then the given integral changes. 2I is equal to pi into 2 into integral 0 to a. The value of a is pi by 2. 2 into pi by 2. Integral 0 to pi by 2 f of x, which is log sin x dx. So both are 2 and 2 gets cancelled. If I consider this one as I1, the value of I will be equal to pi into I1. The value of I is equal to pi into I1. So now in our hand, means I have to evaluate I1 first. So after evaluating I1, I should substitute in this. So consider the I1. So what is I1? I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx, log sin x dx, because 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx. So this is what we have I1. So it is like 0 to a. So now integral 0 to a f of x dx can be written as integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So I get 0 to pi by 2 log sin pi by 2 minus x dx. So I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin 90 minus theta cos theta. So I get log cos x dx. So if I consider this as equation 3 and this as equation 4, add 3 and 4. See, if I add 3 and 4, what I get? If I add 3 and 4, I get I1 plus I1, which is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. So both are having the same integral, log sin x dx plus log cos x dx. So I take ds common. So I get log sin x plus log cos x, log m plus log n, log m into n. So 2 into I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin x into cos x dx. So once again, go to trigonometry. If I see sin x into cos x, I can convert this particular thing in the form sin 2x. So how can I convert into sin 2x? Multiply and divide by 2. So if I multiply and divide by 2, I get the numerator as 2 sin x cos x, which is nothing but sin 2x. So 2i1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin 2x by 2 dx. Sin 2x by 2 dx. So this can be rewritten as log m minus log n, because it is in the form log m by log n. Log m by n. So log m by n can be written as log m minus log n. So I write in that form. Two I1 is equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 log m log sin 2x minus integral 0 to pi by 2 minus log 2 dx. So I can split this into two integrals, so that integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin 2x dx as a first part minus integral 0 to pi by 2 log 2 dx as a second part. So I would like to evaluate this particular thing, this one. So to evaluate this, so instead of going for multiplication method, means integral of uv method, I can substitute 2x as some other variable. So if I substitute 2x as t, if I substitute 2x as t, 2 into dx will be equal to dt, and the limits, if x is equal to 0, the value of t will be equal to 0, and if x is equal to pi by 2, the value of t will be equal to 2 into pi by 2, 2 into pi by 2 pi. So limits in terms of t or 0 to pi. So 2i1 is equal to integral 0 to pi log sin 2x I replace as t, dx can be replaced as dt by 2, dx can be replaced as dt by 2, minus log 2 is a constant, so log 2 out, integral dx is equal to x. So x, the limits are 0 to pi by 2. Now I want to change the intervals. Sorry, not intervals, the variables. As for the first property, if I change the variable by another variable, the value of integral never changes. So now I am replacing t, replace t by x. Then I get 2i1 is equal to 1 by 2 integral 0 to pi, so log sin x dx minus log 2 into pi by 2 minus 0. Just recall, integral 0 to pi log sin x dx. This is in the form integral 0 to 2a. So already we had done in the beginning. So I can write it as 2 into integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx. 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx. So this already we did in this problem 2 steps back, right? In the beginning, very beginning. So now minus pi by 2 minus 0, pi by 2 into log 2. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. This can be replaced as I1. What we consider, integral 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx, we consider as I1. So replace this one as I1. So if I replace this one as I1, what we get, 2I1 is equal to I1 minus pi by 2 into log 2. So plus I1 transfer left side, 2I1 minus I1 is equal to minus pi by 2 log 2. So I got I1 as minus pi by 2 log 2. Substitute in the beginning, what we need, I, whereas I is equal to pi into I1. I is equal to pi into I1. So if you substitute there, I get I is equal to pi into minus pi by 2 log 2. So therefore our answer, I is equal to minus pi square by 2 into log 2. So what is represented by I? Integral 0 to pi x into log sin x dx is equal to minus pi square by 2 log 2. Minus pi square by 2 log 2. That is our answer.